Hey there, I'm Eric Tennant, and this is the Humsienk 12V 314 amp hour battery. This is a very impressive battery, as it's called as a mini right here. It's a little bit bigger than, say, a car battery, but yeah, this thing's packing over 4,000 watts in it. At least that's what they claim. Well, I have to run my own tests on it to see what that is at. Let's get some measurements on the battery here. So it is about 15 and a half inches wide on the handles, about 7.5 inches deep, and just under 10 inches tall, or 9.7. The battery weighs just under 62 pounds, and conveniently it comes with these rope handles, which are definitely needed for picking it up. The battery comes with M8 terminals, and it comes with a spare pair, just in case you forget to turn off your battery and you connect that last wire and you make a chunk of the metal go out on there. It's a little tip there, just to keep that big spark from happening, which I hate it. It scares me every time. You can buy a capacitor, which I don't have, or even easier, you can go into the Smart BMS and simply just turn the battery off, and then you just get a little tiny spark, beep, almost nothing off this battery. They claim this battery has 6,000 charge cycles before it's going to show a 20% reduction in its capacity, which is highly impressive. That'll give you enough charge and discharges if you did it once a day for the next 10 years, and it would still be good to go. Unlike other lithium batteries, this is a lithium iron battery, or to be more exact, a lithium iron phosphate. Not to be confused with e-bike batteries, which are lithium cobalt. Lithium cobalt batteries, yeah, there is a possibility if there's some kind of venting action or thermal runaway, they will turn into an unextinguishable blowtorch. With lithium iron, it doesn't have those same properties. You have probably about the same amount of odds of burning down your trailer or your house as you would with your refrigerator if positive and negative short out. So you should be able to drop this in on any 12-volt system, say on a boat, a camper van, or a RV, just as long as you understand the limits of amps and what size wires you have within your system. Obviously, the battery is made out of ABS plastic, and it is rated at IP65, which just means is it's good for any kind of dust that's going to hit it and splashes on the outside. I wouldn't take this and just throw it right into the lake or anything, but you should be good running this, say, on like a boat. Normally, I like to work in the 48 volts versus 12 volts. But that said, this battery will connect up into 4 into series or 4 into parallel. With 4 into series, you will be getting up into that 48 volt range, or I think it's like 52 volt range. And of course, the battery's BMS has all kinds of protection built in to be able to keep this as safe as possible. It won't let you overcharge it. It won't let you charge it when it's too hot. It won't let you charge it when it's too cold. We'll go ahead and open up the Smart BMS app that comes with this, and I'll go over some of the other protection it has, because it has more than I can actually memorize at the moment. Okay, once you go to the App Store and download the app, you go up here to the top, and we'll just go ahead and connect the battery here. Okay, now we can see in our Bluetooth app, we have control over the charge and discharge, so we can turn those off and on. And those were the buttons I was talking about when hooking up the positive and negative, and that helps out a ton not to get that large spark. Sounds like almost like a 22 going off. You can see the SOC, or the state of charge, is at 100%. We have the voltage. We have its temperature it's sitting at 75.2 Fahrenheit, and we have the current power that's going in and out of it, and the amps, which of course there's none because it's just sitting on the desk right now. One of the cool things you could do is if you click on where it says voltage, this will open up the battery and let you look at each one of the cells. You can see right now that the battery's voltage difference is at 0.06 hundredth of a volt, which is excellent, perfectly balanced. So when it goes out of balance, basically the active BMS will kick in on it and balance the battery. So now we have the warning pages, and this is where I get into all the different protections it's at. So we have charging over protection, charging high temperature protection, charge low temperature protection, pack over voltage protection, charging over current warning, charging high temperature warning, and charging low temperature warning. And of course, right now it has a pack over voltage warning. Basically, that's the one that turned off the charging MOSFETs, so the battery wouldn't overcharge. As soon as you go to discharge, that obviously that warning turns off there. And then, yeah, they have more of the warnings here. Definitely not going to go over these a ton. And discharge warning, not too sure what that one is. And then, yeah, the other is over temperature protection again on the system. Got this parameter page here, which let's go into that. That just shows a little bit of information about the battery, how many, where the overcharging protection is at, which you think he would have put that at 200. Let's see if we can actually change these. Confirm. Okay, yeah, I'm not too sure why they put that at 300 amp hour. It's way over what the battery can do. So we'll put that at 200 there too as well. And then the high temperature protection and everything else, I'm really not too concerned about that. I'm never gonna hit the low temperature protection because while I live in the middle of the desert, we never get to freezing. And then the high temperature protection, 131 Fahrenheit. Sounds about right. That would mean my house has no air conditioning at the moment. So yeah, that would be a good thing to probably turn the charging off. And then we have an about page. Here you can change it from Fahrenheit to Celsius, which that's good because my government programmed my brain into Fahrenheit. I know the conversion, but I can't stop thinking in it. So we got the website operation manual. Oh, it looks like that just opens up the internet there. Let's go back. We got a service phone number, email, registry information, all that jazz. All right, and now for the part everybody's waiting for, the discharge test. Does this battery really contain 4,019 watt hours in it? I don't know, the size compared to the last battery I reviewed is definitely mini, so I'm looking forward to doing this test to see if it truly has inside what they say it has. All right, the results are in, and the Humsienk passed its test with flying colors. It pulled 4,186 watts out of the advertised 4,019 watts. That is a 4.155% over from what they advertised, which that's awesome. And the Humsienk battery comes with a 5-year warranty, and they state on their website that it should have a 10-year lifespan. So the Humsienk, they claim the 6,000 charge cycles, a little bit of confliction. They do have 15,000 charge cycles. I take it that must be what they're claiming before it totally just cuts out on you, and that's the end of it. So 15,000 charge cycles, if you did one cycle every day, would put you at about 41 years. None of the battery companies actually claim that time period, so time will usually decay them, I think, within the 10 years. I don't know, time will tell. I will definitely run these to their death until they're not safe, at least, to use anymore. Right now, you can pick up the Humsienk battery for $369.99. But wait, there's more. If you use my QR code down here or the link down in the description, you'll get 5% more off the battery. This Humsienk battery, by far, for the watt hour, is one of the cheapest batteries out there. So, I mean, this is phenomenal where this technology is going. I'm getting into this personally to battle my power company because while I have a 16 kilowatt solar system on the top of my house and I buy and sell power back to them. The selling deal is great, the buying it back from them part is not so great. They're taxing, they're feeing, it ends up a sour deal in the end. So I'm finding it better to store my energy. Even after the cost of all the equipment and the batteries, the math still works out to where it's cheaper for me to store my own energy rather than to sell and buy back from them constantly. I, of course, am selling them my overflow. Just a little tip, I do love a good power station. I do love something you can just unbox, you plug in, and it's good to go. But as far as dollar per watt, they're not the best value out there compared to a do-it-yourself system. You can pick this battery up for $369.99 plus a 5% off. And then you can add like $100 inverter into the system. And this is really easy, guys. You don't need to know any kind of technical know-how or anything. You got all your AC plugs on the front. You have all your USBs. You have a plug switch there to turn it off and on. And all you have to do to make this whole system work is hook up a positive and negative cable to that battery there. That's it. You have a whole power station now, and then when one of the components go bad, say like the battery or say the inverter, you would, well, either do a warranty call on it or throw it away, buy a new one. The whole system wouldn't be junk. Unfortunately, a lot of the pre-built power stations, you're not going to be able to work on them yourself unless you have candid knowledge of how batteries work. And I'll go ahead and link this inverter down in the description below. It did take me a couple to find one I ended up liking. The first one I hooked up, I didn't have anything kind of load on it, and unfortunately every 10 minutes the fan kicked on. This one's much better, only kicks the fans on a really heavy load. So is it good as far as long-term usage? I don't know, ask me in a year or 2 or 5 or 10. Until next time, you'll see me. Have a great day. I know I will.